welcome back to the Autumn Acorn Knits. It has been way too long since I've come to you. Yeah, the summer has been a crazy mess and just so busy. And I guess that's the case for most people's summers, but mine in particular was a little wacky. But here I am ready to talk about my knitting. Today I don't have any crochet to talk about, so knitting, and then a little bit that I might talk about at the end about a new hobby that I've picked up. But this is episode 77, and my name is Judy, and I am a knitwear designer and knitter living in the woods of New Hampshire near the White Mountains. I live here with my husband Joe and our black cat Meryl. Let's get started, shall we? All right, I have notes because I think I'm going to be a bit of a mess today, but I do have quite a few finished objects, 2 that are no longer here because they have been gifted, and then 3 that are here that I can show you. I also have some whips going on. I have about 4 works in progress going on right now. And then at the end, if you want to hear about it, I have a few acquisitions that I'm going to talk about quickly. All right, let's start then with what I'm wearing, because I am wearing the Sea Haven pullover. I'm just going to try to pull these out without moving you. You guys are propped up on 4 books and a couple of pieces of wood because my tripod broke. So what are you going to do? Anyway, what I am wearing. So I'm going to try to stand up a little bit so you could get a better view. Go back here some. I'm just wearing sweatpants with it, but so yeah, this is a little shorter than I normally go, but I was happy with how this fell. This is a project that my friend Marie and I we're having all of the knitters, or most of the knitters, coming to our retreat next January. They are all going to be knitting one of these Sea Havens. This is by JST Knitwear Designs, and I will link everything I talk about today in the show notes below. But here it is. This is just a black and white printout, but it was $7.50 to purchase. And it uses DK weight yarn and US 6 4mm needles, and then a US 5 3.75mm for the trim and everything. And it is a top-down yoked construction with some really pretty textured detail, which I love. The yarn that I used is my favorite. So Silky Wool by Elspeth Lavold. Love. I talk about it a lot. I can't say enough good things about this yarn. It is truly my favorite. Let's see, the composition is, we have 45% wool, 35% silk, 20% nylon. The color is dusty lavender, and it comes with 192 yards per 50 gram skein. I did have this much left over of, was it the 4th skein or 3rd skein? Looks like it was the 4th skein that I had a good amount left over. But you could see what a pretty dusty color that is. Dusty lavender, gray undertones, really nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Okay, so it was 4 skeins. I'm sorry, guys. I told you I'd be a little bit of a mess today, right? But it was 4 skeins. It took me 4 skeins, but only really 3.5 if you consider. So that was a pretty efficient pattern. Of course, I did go with short sleeves so I could wear it in most of the seasons, really, since I run so hot. I can wear it all seasons. So yeah, really happy with it. I don't know if I would knit one again. Maybe. If I did, for sure, I would use a larger needle. I'd like a more open, looser gauge next time. Okay, the next finished object I've already sent to my daughter Sarah, who, by the way, had a baby girl August 15th. She had a little baby girl, and her name is Elowen, and she's gorgeous. Everyone is doing really well in Hawaii, and I'll be visiting in November, so can't wait. Anyway, I mailed her baby package, and in it was this little sweater called the Rosebud, and this is by the Noble Thread. Carolyn Hegwer is the designer's name, and I just think Carolyn is such a sweetheart. You can follow her on Instagram. She is Caro, let's see if I get it right, Caro Stitches in the City, C-A-R-O. I'll stick it in the show notes. But she has such a beautiful aesthetic. I absolutely love her Instagram. And this was a free pattern. I loved making this. I think it's ingenious the way she does it. So it is knit flat, of course, top down. And I want to make sure I get this part right, because she has you use a US 5, 6, 7, and 8 needle as you work this, so that it increases on, with just the needle size, which I absolutely love the simplicity of it. I knit the size 1, and that was a 3-month size. If I took a picture of my finished object, which I think I did, I'll put it here. The baby has not fit into it yet. She's just a little 7-pound peanut right now. So what else can I say? The yarn that I used, this is a fingering weight pattern. So I just used a bunch of fingering weight scrap yarn that I had on hand. I do wish I had it with me still, but that's what you get for waiting so long to podcast, But I highly recommend the Rosebud to anyone who needs a quick gift knit, because that was fun and easy to make, and it came out really, really cute. All right, let's move on to my next finished object, and this is a pattern that has already been released quite a while ago. I think it's been over maybe a month, 2 months, and these are the Magic Heel house socks. So yeah, my newest Magic Heel design uses some nice hardy worsted weight. I use sock yarn for this one. I use Briggs & Little Tuffy 2-ply. And this is the color Rosewood. And then I used a cream for the toe and the cuff. These are knit top down or cuff down, however you want to say it. I used double pointed needles, and I used a US 7. So that's a 4.5 millimeter. I used some bamboo. I always knit my socks and slippers and anything like small circumference with double pointed needles. It's just my favorite. I had also knit this pair. This was the first sample, I guess you could say, but I had to do some perfecting and get the fit to be a bit better for me, so here we have them. So yeah, you can grab this pattern from my Ravelry shop or my web shop, and most of my patterns are on my Etsy shop as well. But they're very cozy, very, very, very easy for a first-time sock knitter. Perfect for gift knitting, and yeah, it did not use much at all of that skein of yarn that I used for the trim, though. Look at this, there's a whole bunch left, and I wish you could smell this woolly wool. It's Canadian wool, and it smells incredible. I love it so much. All right, that was number 3. The next item is so pretty. I'm so glad that I test knit this shawl by Anina Juti, and I'm terrible with my pronunciation, so please forgive me for that. But Anina has a lovely podcast that I will link below. You should check it out. So this is a gorgeous shawl called the Suava, and I've showed this before in my podcast. The Suava shawl uses a US 6 knitting needle, which is a 4 millimeter, and I used You use a main color and a contrast color. And I chose to use some beautiful Grandview Farm Gotland. It's a Gotland and silk blend in this gorgeous gray. I think this is Matilda. That was the name of the sheep. And then I also used the pink, which is a super pretty speckled yarn. That was a French yarn. I'm so sorry that I don't have it. Let me check here. Wait, before I say that, maybe I do. Ooh. Yes. Okay. So this is what I have left of the Gotland. Not much at all. And I'm going to show you Kim's her little tag. So this was a DK weight, 20% silk, 80% Gotland, 3-ply, 150 yards, and the name was Marta. I hope you can see that. And the one that I was just telling you about, the speckled yarn, this is what's left of that, 2 little nuggets, was some yarn. This is French yarn, and Tallulah Yarns. The color is Lait Francais, and it was, like I said, hand dyed in France. It is on a top sock, 100% superwash merino base, 437 yards per 100 grams. So yeah, those were the 2 yarns that I chose to use, and like you saw, I used up almost every bit. And I knit the larger size sample. There is also a smaller, more like a shawlette version, but ooh, this is so pretty, and it feels incredible. The Gotland has a little bit of prickle to it, but as a shawl it works out perfectly. I just wouldn't probably wear it too high up on my neck, but maybe in the winter it won't bother me at all because I'm so, you know, when you get warm, wool gets prickly. But isn't it pretty? I just love that little swirly stitch. Anina has also released a sweater pattern, a children's sweater pattern with the same stitch pattern. And I love it. And I might have to make one for my granddaughters. Now I have 3 granddaughters. I have to get used to that, don't I? So yep, that was the Suava shawl, knit on 6 needles. Okay, we're on to the last finished object already. Let me toss that aside, and this I'm the most excited about because I finished these yesterday, and man, they took me a while. Now I'll tell you why they took me a while. They shouldn't have. The first pair was much quicker. But the second, the thing about me with knitting socks is that textured socks or anything with a pattern, I don't know. It's not my favorite thing. I like vanilla socks. That's all there is to it. But I love the result of a pattern sock. So I had to design, and this is my very first design of a traditional sock, not a magic heel, but a traditional heel flap and gusset. So I've shown you the first pair. And these now have a new name, they have new life. So the new name will be Apple Harvest Socks. That is definitely the name they will be. Apple Harvest Socks, for a couple of reasons. Number 1 is that the name of the yarn is apple picking. Number 2, it is almost apple picking season here in New England, which I'm super excited about. But here's the second pair finished. Yay. So they have, let me take it off the blocker so I can really give you a good look. So they are cuff down, knit cuff down. We have twisted ribbed cuff, and then you will be picking up for the ruffle and knitting the ruffle down. Then you'll start with your lace pattern which is this gorgeous, gorgeous, I don't know. It's called St. John's wort, but it's so pretty. It's a 4-row repeat. And it is, yes, it is memorizable. What else can I say? A heel flap and gusset, like I said. A traditional toe. Traditional, pretty rounded toe. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. They will come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. They're for adults. And the first one I made of this second pair ended up, this one is a bit too small, so I had to rewrite the entire thing, just fixing the numbers and making sure there was plenty of room for the foot, because this stitch really draws in all the stitches. You are going to want, just doing it with my traditional, for me, 64 stitch cast on, it was way too difficult to get it over the ankle because, again, this lace will just cinch it all in. So I had to do some finagling, and today the pattern is going off to the tech editor. So if anyone is interested in test knitting, they come in 2 versions, the shorter version, which is this one, and then the longer leg, which is this. But in general, they are the same pattern. Obviously, I switched up the colors with this pair. You can do them all in one color if you choose, or you could do like I did in this version. So I told you that the name of this yarn is Apple Picking, and I have some left still even after all those socks. So gorgeous. I absolutely love this color. But the green is also equally gorgeous. I have a lot more left of that. Oh, look at it. It's so pretty. So let's start with the variegated one. So it's Tippy Tree Yarns. And this is Tippy Super Sock, 4-ply, 100 grams, 463 yards. Superwash, 75/25, and in the color Apple Picking. Then the green is Palmer Yarn Company in the color Moss Dreamy. This is an MCN, 80 merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon, and each skein is 400 yards, 100 grams, 2-ply. So delightful to work with. I did use a US 1 2.25 millimeter DPNs for this. I write my sock patterns where you can follow them using DPNs, short circs, or magic loop, your choice. And yeah, so if you're interested in test knitting, I expect we will get started in a week or 2, probably. So yeah, probably another week from now, so that there's time for me to gather. I may do a Google Doc this time to do the test knit. We'll see, but I will definitely announce it on Patreon, email, so if you're an email subscriber, as well as Instagram. If you're not following me there, you should be. The Autumn Acorn. I'm very active over there. All right, so yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about the Apple Harvest socks. Cannot wait for you guys to knit these. I want to see what colors you use. I'm going to have Joe get some photos of the socks. We have a little apple tree we planted a few years ago, and this year, this is the first year it's got like one branch of it has about 10 apples. So I'm going to try to see if he can get some pictures of the socks later today. That would be fun. All right, guys, that's it for the finished knitting projects or objects. Let's move on to whips. So the first whip is a pair of socks. I'm a little sock crazy, as I've mentioned in the past. This year in particular, I think I've knit 10 pair, 9 pair, a lot. It's a lot of socks. So I just feel like I always want to have a pair of socks. Vanilla socks especially on the needles at all times. So these are just a pair of shorty socks. Real short, but not like, you know, you can see them. They're not invisible shorties. But. And this is some yarn that I dyed. It's really a pretty color pink. It's not a natural dye though. This is an acid dye. But I did it when I wanted to speckle some yarn. And I just have my little flap going here now. So these, I don't know if these will fit me. They're probably going to fit Charlie, my oldest granddaughter. So again, just some yarn that I dyed. If you like the color, there is some more in the web shop, theautumnacorn.com. If you're interested, there's quite a bit on that on the web shop now because I had a shop update. Was it a couple weeks ago now? So lots of goodies there, lots of Christmas gifts if you're shopping early this year. I think that's all I wanted to say. I'm using my US 0 needles, which is really unusual for me, but I ran out of my US 1s, so I had no choice. Then I have another pair of socks on the go here. This yarn was gifted to me by a lovely patron. She sent it during a time when I needed it most. It was just so sweet, so sweet. But this is a sock yarn by the Arkansas Yarn Co. This was for their Sock Yarn Society, and the name of the color is Slap a Bow on It. Love the name of that so much. I'll try to show you her pretty label. So yeah, this is a Yummy High Twist 8515 Superwash Merino Nylon, 399 yards per 100 grams, so it's a little heavier, and I love how heavy these socks feel. In fact, they're incredibly heavy feeling, or sturdy feeling, I guess is a good word. The yarn was really cool in the hank. It was like color blocked with this dark gray and then the cream, and then there was this one section of all pink speckles. So I have this sock just working on the foot, and then I'll head to the toe. This one's done. Maybe you can see some of those speckles. Do you see those? Not enough, but just enough to keep me excited like an Easter egg hunt, right? That's how I felt. But these fit great. They remind me of Newsprint or something similar to that. And I think they're going to fit in so well with my wardrobe because I've got a lot more gray going on in there, and of course pink, but I think they're going to fit in really well. I'm using my US 1s, double pointed zings, and just doing a vanilla sock. Trying to get up to 12 pair for myself this year for socks. So yeah, that was super fun and a nice surprise from a very kind friend. Okay, the next, so that was 2. Okay, we have 2 more to go. 2 more works in progress. I'll start with this one. This one's farther along. This is a self-drafted cardigan in my favorite yarn, Silky Wool. I wrote the pattern in this lovely thrifted notebook. Here's the color I'm using. Ah, look at it. I'm in love. I'm so in love with Silky Wool. What is my problem? I can't help it. It feels so light when it's finished knitting. Well, it feels light now too, but ooh, it's just so gorgeous. This is the color Peridot. I can show it to you. It's Peridot, and it's so pretty. And how well does it match my notebook? All right, so this is a cardigan knit top down, US, let me see here. What did I use for needles? What am I using for needles? We are using US 7s for the body. And this is a raglan construction. I think I'm going to name this the Caterpillar cardigan But I'm not 100% sure. Pretty sure though. But here's what I have so far. Oh, and I should have mentioned it has these really cool seed stitch ties at the bottom. This is a bit of a cropped, but not too cropped cardigan. Look, I have a sleeve going. And I just thought the raglans looked like excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I felt, okay, Joe and I were outside one day enjoying the summer day, and there was this green caterpillar that crawled on me, and it startled me. I'm not a big fan of creepy crawly caterpillars. I don't know. Joe loves them. He'll let them crawl on him. I'm not. So I kicked it off. I was kind of freaked out by the thing, but then I just kept looking at it, and it reminded me so much of this color, and the legs reminded me so much of this raglan increase. So I'm like, you know what? It's inspired me, that creepy little guy, to name this the Caterpillar Cardigan. I think it's a really cute name. I don't know, I like alliterations and words that, yeah, start with the same letter. Although I didn't appreciate it growing up as Judy Jewel. I thought that was a mouthful. So yeah, it feels so good because I am using the US 7, which I wish I had used on this. I feel like it would have given me that airiness that I love. But yeah, so far I'm super thrilled with how it's been going. You can't really see it right now, but there is a eyelet. Yeah, that's really tricky to see. But I'm going to be adding more of the seed stitch, which is at the cuff here. I'm going to be adding more of that to the sleeve and to the button band, so that should be fun. So yeah, I'm not sure when this one will go to the editor. I've got quite a bit more to go on it, but it's going quickly because of the needle size. Now again, this is, the company calls this a DK weight. However, in my opinion and other people's opinions, it is lightweight. I mean, I would call this a sport weight for sure. So when you're choosing yarn for this project, I will make sure I do put those notes in the pattern as well. But I'm thinking a sport weight or even a heavier, more traditional DK could work really well for that. And this is right now living in this cute little crochet basket that I had worked on earlier this year. I think I've shown it to you. It's crocheted with gorgeous linen yarn, which I do have more of. If anybody wants any of that, let me know. I think it took me 3, let me check. I actually I have the linen in 100 gram skeins. This is not 100 gram skeins though. This is just a little spool. But I used, just so you have an idea of how much it took me. It took me 3 full skeins of this. Ooh, the light is getting bad, so sorry about that. Daylight is coming in, the sun's messing up everything. So yeah, flax and twine, daytime linen. It's a DK light worsted weight linen, 123 yards per 100 grams, and it took me 3 and a little bit of this one. So it's not a pattern I plan to release or write up or anything. It was just for fun, and then I threw on this little flower. Thought it added a nice touch to it. So all right, that was that. The last project, and I hope I can get this in before this sun really starts to get in the way. I'm housing it in my Max handmade bag. And this is a test knit for the lovely Famke, Famke. I will put all the information down below. She has a delightful podcast Her other name she goes by is Mipi the Label. Oh, hair. What's up? And Mipi the Label is her brand name because she is a designer. She's a new designer. She started, I think, 1 year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And she's so good at it. She's got this eye for the most feminine, beautiful, detailed designs that I just adore them all. And she first showed this design a year ago on her podcast, and I knew right then and there that I needed to knit this. Even if I didn't get accepted into the test knit, I needed to, purchase this pattern and make it for my wardrobe because I was just drawn to it immediately. You know how that happens, right? And it took her a year. It took her a year because there's a lot of grading involved in a lot of sections, a lot of texture. And it takes time and other things get in the way, and I understand that, but I waited. I waited, and when I saw that she had called for testers, I'm like, yep, sign me up. I'm there. I don't even care what I have on my plate right now. I'm doing it. And then I was so happy to see that I was accepted. So yay. So I'm going to show it to you. This is called the Tallulah. She named it after a series called Firefly Lane or something like that. I don't remember that. I've never seen the show, but look at that beautiful cardigan. Oh my goodness. Hello. It has my name written all over it. It has bishop sleeves. It has texture everywhere. It's a cardigan. It's pink. I mean, what's not to love? So yeah, and it comes in 10 sizes. It's size inclusive. We have been given 10 weeks to complete the knit. Let me see if I can show you the back. Ooh, sun, cooperate. So this is a European dropped shoulder construction. My first time. I'm feeling really, really brave because it's my first time doing European drop shoulder construction and my first time following charts. I'm not gonna, well, you're not gonna get anything really from the chart, but I have to show you really quickly what I have to do to follow them. Boop! I have to color code it and put all these. It helps me to understand, and to stay on the line I'm on. It's one of those things, right? You have to keep track. So I am knitting the 4th size, which is the medium. Comes in extra, extra small all the way up to 5XL. By the way, she's still looking for testers for the larger sizes. Definitely 4XL and 5XL, maybe 3, I'm not sure. So if you are interested, that would really help, and I would love to have you in our little test group. It's fun. So yeah, let's see what I've got so far. Okay, pull it all out here. So first of all, the yarn that I'm using is my own hand-dyed yarn, naturally hand-dyed. I didn't make the yarn, obviously, but I dyed it with avocado. And here is one of the skeins. It is a beautiful color pink. It reminds me a lot of the sample, so that made me happy. It is a DK weight, 123 yards per 50 gram skein. This is a 50 gram skein. And using a US 6 4mm needle. And it's called the Tallulah Textured Cardigan. So here we go. Let me get, it's not a lot yet. Not a lot yet, but it's something. And it's gorgeous. What do you think? So this is the back. This is the top of the neck area, and then we're increasing as we do this lace section. Eee! I cannot wait to have this, but I am enjoying, I just started, right? This is just one day, but I wasn't frustrated once, And normally I don't know. Things that take a lot of my attention are really, really hard for me. This takes all of my attention, but I'm still loving it. So that's such a good thing. I never have had that happen before. And it's happened and I'm thrilled. So please stay tuned for the Tallulah cardigan. I am loving, loving, loving everything about this. And Famke, you are an amazing pattern writer. I mean, I'm following this so easily. And that says a lot. Because I'm just, yeah, that's a lot for me. Yay! I also have to make the charts huge so that I can really see them. They're, you know, I think most people with poor vision do that though. I did get new glasses, so it's helped so much. I had no idea how bad my vision was for distance, and it's what was causing my panic and anxiety when I was driving or going into stores, and I wasn't able to see. I felt like I was in an aquarium. Like everything was just hazy, and it was really, really difficult. So I feel so much better now. All right, I just want to quickly say that I did get a few acquisitions, 3 to be exact. I'm going to start with this one. This was a gift that was dropped off to a local yarn shop. And here's the front. So this was from a very sweet woman named Sue. Her daughter and her daughter's family started a company last year. And they make, it's called Maker's House Homestead. They make sustainable agricultural products made in New Hampshire. Here is the logo. Yep. And I will put all the information down below on how you can contact Maker's House Homestead or call them or email them or whatever you want to do. But she included a very sweet card, which meant the world to me. And then these 2 sweet gifts. We have some comfrey salve, and I love how this is in one of those like a deodorant container, right? Look at that. So handy for knitters. Oh my gosh, I think everyone needs one of these. And then some goat milk lotion bar. Super cool. It smells really good too. Look at this. Will be. And this you just rub on. Very simple. Love it. So, Sue, it meant so much to me that you would take the time to deliver a gift and then write me such a sweet card. And you also, my friend Marie as well, it was her local yarn shop that these gifts were delivered. So Marie also received a beautiful gift as well. So just so thoughtful, Sue, and it's been so nice talking to you. And I do hope we get to meet someday. I would love that. So also, I was gifted by the wonderful Elizabeth Lavold, who makes Silky Wool. The company, along with Knitting Fever, were so gracious in sending me 60 skeins of yarn from all of their different lines. So there's Silky Wool, the DK version I've shown you. There's some Silky Wool Aran, and then there's some hemp, I think it's called Hempathy. I'll list everything below that they sent me, but some of it, about 50% of it, is for giveaways. So yeah, we're going to start a giveaway, not this podcast, but the next podcast I will be announcing a giveaway of some of that yarn. The green that you saw that I'm making the caterpillar cardigan, that was part of the gifted yarn to me. And so yeah, I've already done a giveaway on Instagram. Congratulations, Sue, for winning that. Awesome. And so they also were, I was so blown away when they said, can you also please pick out a set of Luca knitting needles? I'm like, what? So I did, and here they are in this gorgeous case. I chose, now I never knew how to say this. I used to say Leica. It's Luca. Luca's a Danish word. I wrote down what it means. It means a life of joy through connection, slow pace, and mindfulness. That's my life in a nutshell. That's what I strive for. So I want Luca all the time. Luca and Huga. Anyway, it has this cool zipper in the front, and for that I stuck in my little needle gauge cat. This is from my friend Kim from an advent calendar a couple years ago. And then I chose the copper set, genuine copper. I have a couple that are being used right now. Two are for the Tallulah. And then down here, of course, you've got your cords, all your cords. I'm in love with this set because I'm in love with copper. Number one, I can't get enough copper in my life. It's just such a beautiful material, and it changes depending on your body composition and the, I don't know, temperature. I'm not sure what all the other things that change it, but there's also this section of the case which I think is for holding your pattern, so you could hold it up if you want to knit with it. So anyway, what a beautiful package to open. I was floored. So yeah, I've got a design going with the one, giveaways with some of it. I'm going to design some other things with the rest of it, and it's such a pleasure. So thank you so much, Elizabeth Lavold, the Knitting Fever, and in particular Anthony, who has been helping me out a lot with all this. Okay, then I don't have it with me to show you, but I ordered a punch needle. It's a new hobby. It's not rug hooking like the other thing I've showed you, but this is punch needle. I've never done it. Well, no, I did it once with my daughter when she visited, but that was with really chunky yarn and a big chunky punch needle. So this is my first time doing it with fine fingering weight yarn. And I ordered my punch needle from Our Cheery Corner. She's a wonderful YouTuber, and she lives in New Hampshire. So I was happy to support a local. Jessica, thank you so much. Also, the frame cover, I ordered one that looks like sheep's wool, but it's not. It's more of an imitation sheep's wool. But it is beautiful, and it helps to protect your hands from all the pins that are on the needle frame. And I should have bought one of these a long time ago because I've always gotten cut from the little, it's like carpet tack. It hurts. So I ordered that from Lily Shea Handmade in Turkey. That only took 8 days to arrive, so I'll put the info down below if you need a needle frame cover. But just really quickly, I ended up making a bunch, because I loved it so much, a bunch of coasters. I made car coasters, I made house coasters. And then I just stuck them on my web shop. And yeah, let's see how they do. But here's an example of them. So they just end up looking like little rugs, little mug rugs, right? So this is the acorn one. Yeah, I loved making these. It was so much fun. They're all wool. The back is wool felt. They're all natural, and they make, I think, great gifts. There's all kinds of designs in there. Flowers, mushrooms, yin and yang. I don't know, a bunch of different fun little designs. So I think that's it, guys. I have had so much fun sitting here and talking to you about my knitting. I hope you have all had a really good summer. I'm kind of ready, yeah, for this to be over. This spring and summer were pretty challenging. We've had some personal hardships in my family that were really, really tough, and will continue to be really tough. But other than that, you know, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right, I will talk to you soon. Don't forget, if you do want to help me test knit those socks, let me know. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate you.